Pretty sure it can go live now. I believe that I am live. I might be live. I'm not sure, so I'm gonna dance. You can dance. You can go live. Welcome to the Nights of Automation 2025, August, number 2. So, first of all, thank you for hanging out. I know that the last month or so it's been a little wonky and we haven't been super awesome on doing our Nights of Automation. In my defense, which I shouldn't have to defend nothing but my humanity. So in my defense, you've heard me talk about Justin. Hired him at the beginning of July. He's fantastic. He's kicking major butt. And now we're getting set in all our streams and things like that. But I'm super excited to say that today we're bringing back the campaign of the month. If you're an old schooler, maybe you are. If you are an old schooler, go ahead and give me a thumbs up or tell me what's going on. We used to do a campaign of the month. In fact, way back a long time ago, when I was an employee for Infusionsoft directly, now known as Keap, owned by Thrive, I did a campaign of the month. My entire job was to research, develop, and launch an entire automation model that anybody could use. And we did this twice last year. And then life kicked in and it was really hard to keep up with it. I'm committing to doing more campaigns of the month after this point because why not get a free campaign? Why not get a free automation that you can go ahead and install? Now, this campaign is available for you to download right now. There is going to be a blog post where you can go ahead and download this. I'm just dealing with some silliness. And because this is the Nights of Automation, it's the inner circle, the silliness is I can't put a merge field into an email. I know, right? Goony, weird. I literally just got off support, Keap support, like a minute ago. That's why I'm like a little bit late. But let's go ahead and talk about this. This is the live event networking campaign. So I don't know if you're like me. I work from my house, I have my office, and I don't really leave the house often. In fact, in a bit of humanity, today's Thursday, I had to put my dog down on Saturday. And it's been hard. It's been super hard. He was the reason I left the house twice a day. Obviously, you got to walk a dog in the morning, at least walk him in the evening. I don't have to do that anymore. So it's like a bittersweet kind of thing. I don't have to wake up early to walk the dog, but also if I don't leave the house, then I'm just going to be this weird ass hermit. So that's fine. But the point is that we're live now. I'm going to talk about live event networking because when you do leave the house, you're going to meet people. Specifically, this is for people if you're doing like trade shows or conferences or like networking events, those kinds of things. And I'm even looking at my stream right now. I think I messed up the whole, chroma keying in the background. Candidly, it's what you get. Hopefully it doesn't take away from the value of what we're doing. Here's the point, and you can see my screen. I've been using this campaign for almost 10 whole years. When I leave my house and I go to a networking event or a trade show or a conference or, Keap's PartnerCon or anything like that, I have a form bookmarked on my phone. Whenever I meet somebody and they give me their business card or anything like that, I bust out my phone and I'm like, hey, let me go and go from there. So that's what the campaign of the month is, and it's very simple. And if you want the link to download this, please let me know. Leave a comment, send a message. We'll go ahead and get you going on this right away. The blog post is about to be live as soon as I can merge information into an automation, which, whatever. It's very simple though. You meet somebody, you think they're cool, you want to add them to your database. There's one single form to add them into. Okay? Doesn't matter how many events you do, this is the one form, one ring to rule them all. Put them into your database. Okay? There is a checkbox on this form. Okay? You can check the box that says add them to the follow-up. Because everybody that you meet, you might not need to follow up with, but you at least want them in your database. This decision right here is exclusively based on that checkbox being checked or not. Listen, if the form submission is option of add follow-up selected, add them to follow-up. Everybody gets into the nice to meet you email. Now here's where it gets cool. I've been saying for years, automation is relationships at scale. What would you do if you met somebody? You'd probably email them. Check out my website. Connect with me on LinkedIn. Okay? What would you do if you knew they didn't actually click to your website or actually click to LinkedIn? Well, you would follow up with them. And that's exactly what this campaign is doing. So check this out. Everybody goes in this nice to meet you campaign. Now, there's a 15-minute delay after the form is filled out, and it sends an intro email. Now, why do we do a 15-minute delay between normal business hours? I want you to put yourself in the mind of somebody you just met. Hey, I'm Paul. I just met you. You're super cool. Hey, thanks for your business card. I'm going to put your stuff in here. If you immediately received an email, would you believe that I actually sent you that email? No. The answer is no. You would not believe I sent this to you. Okay? That's why there is a quarter of an hour delay between when you fill out the form and when someone gets an intro email from you. And it happens during normal business hours. So let's say that you're farting around at a networking event, at a conference, and you're at like the hotel bar and you're taking info from people. You're not emailing anybody. That's why this intro email goes out at 8 a.m. in the morning. The objective, the whole purpose of this is to get people to click to your website or at least connect with you on LinkedIn, right? That's the whole point of this. Which this campaign of the month is pretty snazzy because if you look at the merge fields, there's one merge field, that's it. What is the name of the event you met somebody at? Again, you can reuse this automation for every single event that you go ahead and do. And I've been using this in my own business since 2016. My own version of it is a little more blown out. I'm talking about lead sources. I'm talking about putting people to specific lead magnets, this kind of thing. But this is at least better than nothing. Okay? The other thing that's really cool about this is, click to your website, click to LinkedIn. What are those websites? That's the second part of this. If you look at your links, it's pre-built to tell people to go to your profile. Or if you're in a massive corporation, you could set this to the company's LinkedIn profile. Okay? And then you can also point people to your website. Or maybe it's like a lead magnet landing page. Whatever you want to do when you meet somebody, where do you want them to go? Put your best foot forward. That's that. This is what the campaign is built to do. Okay? What if they do not click on any of those links from the intro email? Again, relationships at scale. What would you do for somebody that you individually met? This has a 3-day delay, run on any Friday at 3 p.m. You can't immediately follow up with folks. And you know what? Let's follow up with them at the end of the week and say, hey, friendly reminder, go ahead and check out my stuff, right? That's it. We're going to look at this email content in just a moment because that's like the super ground level stuff. It doesn't actually matter. It's the follow-up that matters. So if you check that box, remember how on this form you could add to follow-up, right? And if you check that box, it's going to put people in the add to follow-up sequence. Out of the box, by default, it's a simple task. It says, hey, listen, campaign merge field lead, this is the one merge field that has the event name in it. So as you go to different events, it's going to say Data Winner lead, Thrive PartnerCon lead, Laurel's Big Table lead, whatever it is that the event you're going to is, it's going to get updated. But it's creating a task that says, cool, we connected with Johnny at this event. Make sure to follow up with them, okay? When you look at the actual install instructions, if you are using opportunities or the pipeline or anything like that, I do provide some training on how do you create an opportunity or how do you create a deal. But at the bare minimum, let's at least make sure there's a task in here. Okay. Let's go look at these two emails. Again, very simple. You met someone at an event, put them in the database. So what about these nice to meet you emails? This intro email is very simple. Actually, both of these emails are very simple. It's coming from whoever is the owner. Subject line says, hey, which, if you do your research, if you look at your marketing history, do you know what email got the best open rate with President Barack Obama's email campaigns in the entire time he was president? This. Hey. Because this is what you would do as a real person. Hey. Okay? This email is very simple. Hello, Justin. It's great to meet you at Data Winner Fest 2025. When you get a chance, I'd love for you to check out our website. At the very least, make sure we're connected on LinkedIn. Here's my email signature, okay? So looking at these links, this is pre-configured for the automation link of your website that we looked at before. Looking at make sure we're connected on LinkedIn, this is pre-configured for the LinkedIn profile, okay? Think smaller. You do not have to be super fancy. The whole point is to connect with people, create relationships, put them in your database. Now, at a 10,000 foot view, the whole point is to get them to click to the website or LinkedIn. If they don't do that, fine. We send this email, which is website reminder, 3 days later on any Friday at 3 p.m. Okay? Sender's the same. Subject line, in case my previous email got buried. Because you know what? When you go to an event, you get a lot of emails, and sometimes things get buried. So we're acknowledging that. Listen, in case it got buried. And I want to point out, from a copywriting standpoint, this is all lowercase. This is what I would type to someone in just like regular plain English. If you do it for one person, do it for 1 million people, okay? The email is basically the exact same thing. The only difference is, hey, good afternoon. Again, was great to meet you at this event. Check out our website, connect on LinkedIn. Now, I didn't even catch this typo until now, but you know what? Do you think this would be automated? If somebody typoed this thing, do you really think that it would be automated? It's a very advanced copywriting tactic that just happened to work out. I did not do this on purpose. But when I do things, I will leave a typo in there if it's like natural. It doesn't totally take away from everything, you know, but that's okay. You're probably going to get a bunch of replies to this email, but it's the same call to action. Look at our website, which again is connected to your website automation link. Make sure we're connected on LinkedIn, connected to your LinkedIn profile. That's it. That is the entire campaign. It's very simple. When you install this into your account, there's only two things you need to do. First thing you need to do is go to the merge fields and update this for whatever the event you're going for. The second thing you need to do is go to your links and then update your LinkedIn profile and your website. Then you go ahead and hit publish. That's it. It is no more complicated than that. The last thing that you do is you bookmark this form so you can access it. Okay, and because this is a nice of automation, I'm going to go ahead and show you my version of this, because this is obviously a campaign template, an automation template. This is not for real what I actually use in my business. Yes, the strategy is exactly, absolutely what I use. Okay, so I'm going to Control-Shift-B to show my bookmark links. It's bookmarked right here. Okay, this is basically the exact same form. Every time I go to an event, I update this. Same info. And then now instead of add to follow-up, because I use opportunities, do you want to add to a pipeline? I also have a free lead magnet of Automate Like a Pro. Do I want to give them access to that? Sure, I can. And if they're like a super high-end client, maybe I go ahead and say send them the sales letter. It's the exact same thing. The entire point, everything that I want to make, the whole point of all of this, let's see if I can do this without ruining, no, that's the webcam, hold blocks, and of course I messed up my green screen. Do not care. The entire point, when you go to a live event and you're networking with people and you meet somebody, you bust out your phone, even if they give you a business card. You know, John Smith, blah, 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 blah. Here's their email. Do I need to follow up with them? Check the box. That's it. Most automation is exceptionally and exquisitely simple, and people want to make it really complicated. This is not complicated. Do not make it more complicated than this, because again, automation is relationships at scale. If you would not do it for one person, don't do it for 1 million people. Okay? Otherwise, your automation is robotic and impersonal. That's not a function of the automation. That's a function of you not caring enough to make it happen. So please, go ahead, download the campaign of the month. If you're going to do anything, you might as well be pro. And there's going to be a blog post very soon that explains how this works. It has all the training tutorial, install the DVDs. Geez, how old am I? All the training and tutorial videos on this. And you can get this installed in your account for free. If you have any questions, please let me know. Reach out. And that's it for today. Very simple. So I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream. And again,